Hello everyone, welcome back. This is going to be a week 3 kind of /4 update video. We've had a lot going on over the last couple weeks, and so we wanted to give an update. But before we get started, just want to hope everyone had a good Easter week or weekend. Spent some great time with their family. I know I did, and had a good work week coming back. This week, I'd like to talk about some of the progress that we made. Where we're at, we've currently finished all of the front 9 surrounds and approaches as far as tilling goes. We're in the seeding process. We're going to hit on some of the reasons why that the seeding kind of lags behind, as well as the pump and the pipe and how that feeds us water. It's a little bit of an obstacle right now, but the great news is we're in the middle of putting in that long-term solution and fix. Hopefully, in the next week or two, you should be seeing some progress or some action taking place behind the airport. We have parts. We're in the process of getting parts ordered. We got approval of that, or to get access to those funds to get the parts ordered, and we already have some contracts in place to get some contractors working on that. And then the last thing I want to touch on is the science. What we actually do. We have a great kind of comparison pictures and videos of basically science in action. Some of the treatments that we make, how they would work, and what they do to our soils. So without further ado, let's get started with this video. So what I wanted to do is do a before and after really quick and kind of pick up where we left off last week, where I showed some tilling that was taking place on hole 1. Here is hole 4 before we would till. And then this following picture is hole 4 after. And so I just kind of wanted to get that process kind of refreshed in your mind, because I also talked about a red rake and kind of talked about what it did, and so now I really want to show what that is. And so here you can see Kevin on that rake, and what that does is knock out a lot of the big hills, humps, anything that we would need to smooth out before we come over it, or before we use the Sand Pro to really get that fine detail to really smooth it out. And you can kind of see me in the background there seating. It's a little bit of all hands on deck, and so I just wanted to touch on this, or show a little bit more into the process, give a fuller picture of what we do when it comes to seeding. It's a lot of things, moving parts that are taking place, and so I think this is a good depiction of it's. All of us are out there going. I'm kind of showing Josh before we let him go on his own how you want to do the surrounds, what you're looking for, moving big debris out of your way, checking your rate to make sure you're consistent with the amount of seed that's going out. If you're putting out 1 bag per area, you're too light. Usually for this whole surround, we're probably going to be somewhere in the 3 to 4 bags of seed to get that quick, fast establishment. And so I hope this is a good depiction, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about the seeding and how we get there, calibration with speed, and those sorts of things. So now we're going to get ready to test out the seeder, test the drop, the speed, the angle. We have it set up. We have Kevin Kyle here dropping bags of seed in it as we need to fill it. But we're going to give it a test and see how it goes. And then we're going to seed into this area as well as the approach, and then go from there. So after those passes that we did, our angle was a little bit off. We need to drop the back end more to get the brushes in the ground, and then some of the undulations weren't allowing for the seed to drop, because when this wheel spins here is how you drop your speed. That controls your speed, or the rate at which you drop. And so we figured somewhere around 5 miles an hour ought to be pretty good. And now we're just trying to fine tune this machine and then get to seeding. So these are the last few test passes that we do. I think we got it dialed in here before we start, doing the whole area. The reason that's important is, you want to make sure your brush is pulling the dirt over the seed, but then also your back roller is also kind of compacting that, so your seed's protected. And then here's Eric kind of just zooming in, kind of show you where you don't see much seed on top of the ground. It's all kind of, pushed in under the soil, not very deep, but, within the top 1/4 inch. So that'll hopefully keep enough moisture on it, keep birds away from it. And so I think this is also a good stopping point for part 1 of this video. I think we covered quite a bit here, and then, we'll pick up here in the next day or two with the next video. I'd like to apologize for some of the wind in the audio. We got some new equipment that just came in, and so hopefully we'll get some better audio as we film out in the field. So that's it. We'll just leave you with the ambient sound of us seeding, finishing up these few test passes before I show Josh how to do the surround, and then on his way he goes.